Guys! Oh my god, guys, we did it! Oh my god! Come on! Oh man! Oh, can you hear me? Oh my lord. Jesus, guys. Ah. Oh my god. Ah. Wow. 1 minute 41 seconds, yeah? Oh my god. Ah. Fuck. Thank you for the question. Ah. What a win, guys! Oh. What a race. Oh. I could be another 40 minutes on with my son. Let's take a look at some statistics. I did a huge PR on Libby Hill, I think. I did 122 the first time up. Jesus, man. That was so hard. Ah, Christ. Do we have the time of Libby? Come. Wow, Thomas 104, man. You beast. But I did 122, huh? Faster than some bees, can you imagine? And I'm a C. Great. Let's go, guys. I think funnily enough, the hardest is is Governor Street. So long, man. It never ends, that hill, the last one, towards the banner. Close to some PRs here for 1 minute. 5 minutes to 90 watts. Wow. In game, I think this one is one of the best in game. This one was like a time trial, a 5 minute PR. Let's go. Let's say that it was a petite KOM attempt, which was around 5 minutes 40, I think, my PR. And we managed 316 watts. So today, during a race of this caliber, with going full gas from the start, being able to hold 5 minutes 4290 with some downhill sections, because we did the 5 minutes was up Libby, then downhill, then up 23rd Street, debit down again, and then Governor Street. So there were some intermissions in this, so I think the figure was even bigger than 290, nominal power wise. And the 20 minutes 253 watts, which surpasses my FTP, which was the one before the ITT, which I did. So once again, holding 253 for 20 minutes. Mega. Oh, guys. The good thing about everything, my boss, thank you very much from here, Jonathan. He gave me a whole week off next week to concentrate on the tour. And I really want to thank him for such support. Oh my god, look at that red, guys. Um, that has shown. Even today, he told me just go early from work, 15 minutes before time, and still get paid, obviously. So I really appreciated it. Again, once again, close to PR. Actually, we did a 3-minute PR, guys. 3-minute PR today. Wow, nice. Oh man, I'm so happy. What's happening with my cycling? I have no idea, but I'm so happy. And it's thanks to you guys on YouTube, the guys on whatever, the guys on Zwift Companion app, in game, everywhere. Your support is so special to me. It gives me the right motivation to keep going strong and to fight all adversity and odds. I was very nervous for today's stage, as you saw and know. The stage is pretty flat for the very first part of it, so I was thinking I might get dropped by the heavyweights. So I wasn't sure what I was capable of achieving during the race. Very good, Franny. 125 for you, man. Wow, well done. Yes, Ethan, I won this race on the first climb because we managed to get a separation. I was dying, honestly. I saw Annie Poland, very strong rider, and the guys were ahead of me. I said, if I don't push now, I'm gonna lose draft. There was Felix of Sisu behind me, and I said, if I drop behind, my race is done. They will catch me, and then I have to start all over again, push again on Libya and stuff like that. I said, okay, this time, unlike yesterday, you know what happened yesterday, guys? I lost the group on the final dip of the London flat loop, and Chris Newberry managed to latch on to the last guys of that blob, and he managed to stick till the very end. And today, this was the tactic for me. I said, I want to stick with the bees. I want to stay with them. I want to die if need be. I know that there will be a downhill and then also the flats for around 6-7 kilometers, then another downhill, and then we go Libby. So I said, no, I will try to rest as much as possible on the flats, and that's what I did. And I managed to actually secure my spot with them, and the rest obviously was I wouldn't say easy. The rest was damage limitation, as you if you want to call it that way. So we managed to secure a fantastic win today. Let's see whether I can show you a bit of a replay. Let me know whether you can see it, guys. Let's have a look at where this section was, which I was saying. Yeah, this is the section. Let's have a look. Let me know if you can see it, guys. So we are approaching here Libby Hill. Yep, we are approaching Libby Hill. We are actually on Libby Hill. Let me see whether I can give you better resolution here. Yeah. So this section was let me see whether you guys can see it, because I don't think you can right now. One moment. Window capture. No. Chrome. Now you can see it. Let me know if you can see it, please, guys. One moment. Let me need to fit this to the screen. Show transition. I'm not too guys. Sorry about it. Fit to screen. I think I need to do it. Fit to screen. Yeah. Can you see it now? Don't see it. Give me a second. Let me see whether I can show you. I should be able to. Yes. Now, yes. Yes. Okay. Let me enlarge it. So, one moment. Let me go back. And like this, you should be seeing it now, guys. Okay. And let me know if you can see it on big screen now, because I have tried to enlarge it. Yeah. So as you can see, we are starting Libby here. And I said, okay, now it's time to go head down. Funny enough, I wasn't seeing the screen because I had the screen of sauce showing. Seems that you guys didn't even have my sauce on today, so that's good. um, uh, so as you can see, there were the A's and the B's, and I tried to push as much as possible. As you can see on the top left, 420 watts, guys. No joke for me, huh? We're talking almost 7 watt per kilo. And here I said, okay, small respite. I sat down a little, and then we went again, pushed again. I said then, okay, most probably, yeah, most probably the A's will just go, and I will be able to latch on to the dropped B's. Hopefully, that's what my plan actually. Um, so I was seeing that there were no C's next to me. I said, okay, so it's all by myself now. It's all me and the B's. So guys, come on, let's go and push, push, push to the banner. And I knew that after the banner, you need to keep pushing because the road doesn't help you to push more. So you need to do it yourself. Looking behind, I was seeing the B's 3 seconds behind. There was Felix at 3 seconds behind also. The C that followed me. I was so crushed. I saw the screen 122 me, 126 Felix. So I said, okay, that's 4 seconds. So we need to really, really push. And as you can see in front of me, there are a group of riders, and behind me there weren't much. So it were only 2 or 3 more. So I said, now if I get dropped, I'm doomed because the C's will catch me again, and then it's back to square one. So as you can see in front of me, we have a pack of around 7 riders. And behind me, there was my teammate Mark Wheeler, who I didn't even realize that he was behind me. Um, uh, so here, as you can see, I dropped the watts to 0, trying to catch draft and start pushing before the downhill so that I can get some momentum going. Once again, I rest a bit. Speed, we're around 70 km per hour, so we're very good in terms of speed. And then I knew that now it's just a 35-second push all out. So I said, okay, I'm not gonna go in the red, but I'm gonna keep a very consistent effort and see what the guys are gonna do in front of me. In the meantime, Mark was 5 seconds behind me still, and I knew that he could push. But also I realized that Felix was also 5 seconds behind me. So here I tried my best to keep constant watts, all without going into the red, without going into the orange. And I said, okay, now if I need be, then I need to push at the very end and grab the wheels that I'll be able to hold on to. I saw Annie Poland in front of me, the leader B of the women. I said, okay, now I know that she had a domestic that would have helped her. So I keep pushing the watts, 400 watts after the hill. We're still pushing 400 watts. The rest started doing less watts. I'm still doing 290 watts, 300 watts. Managed to latch onto them. Small breather once again. The road dips strongly, and I said, okay, it's time to activate fire socks once again. And so as you can see, the race was very, very tactical from my side. Once again, here a small breather, heart rate 178 BPM, which is very high, obviously. And now I know that it is one of the worst climbs. I really hate this climb because it's long, it's draggy, you have good draft, fine, but it's bloody long, man. And so basically, behind me there was absolutely nobody, 8 seconds. My teammate, Paul Young, also behind me, 8 seconds of kaboom. So I said, okay, I'm in the safe if I drop, but I knew that there were some C's that might have been lingering also with this group. So I said, no, I need to keep going. If they want, they will catch me themselves, the bees. So that's what I did. I stuck with the front bees. rested a bit before the climb started, and I said, okay, from here on, it's massive attack, man. I know that we have a flat coming after that. So I said, then I will rest there. 10 seconds from the rear, and here we're pushing over 4 watts per kilo till the duration, till the flat. I tried my best here to make sure to stay in the pack, guys. So the plan was to keep as much as possible drafts, even though when you are climbing at 5% plus, the draft effect minimizes in great effect. So I said, okay, let's stick to the group without yo-yoing too much. Stick to the rear. Try and do the minimum possible. I was riding with the A's, guys. I mean, this is not my territory, definitely not. But I wanted to win the race at all costs, so I had to be bold. I had to be risky. I had Thomas Sorensen right in front of me. He's, as you can see on the top right. They were just turning the corner, so he was like what 200 meters ahead of me after the third climb only, which for me is a huge honor. So we are managing to stick to the group. Obviously, I'm gritting my teeth here. As you can see, we're doing over 300 watts, almost 5 watts per kilo. And then we turn, and here I look down at my screen. I don't look at my television. I look only at my bike. And I said, okay, push, push, push. Let's go. Keep the watts going. Now we're seeing yellow, finally, not orange anymore in terms of um, uh, the gradient of the hill. In the meantime, at the rear, the guys are still 12 seconds behind. So we're kind of managing to even gap more the chasing bees when I'm riding against C's, not bees. So for me, it was even more incredible to achieve such a such a result. So we are with the dropped A's, with Urbanski, with Herrera, with a few others. We are with the solid B's here also. And my two teammates, Paul Young and Mark Wheeler, are behind in 13 seconds behind. So the lap is done with a 22:52, which is quite a good, solid lap. Even though it's not my PR, funnily enough. Here we make a huge dig again around 380 watts to catch the draft of the group, catch momentum also. We are at minus 1% in terms of incline. In this case, it's decline. And here we are resting a bit. And here I noticed that the chasing bees are actually catching us. During this moment, I realized that the chasing C dropped. He was dropped. So I said, okay, the plan is this. I'll stick with the group at the back. I know that I have two teammates behind me, Paul Young and Mark Wheeler. And I said I'm in a very good position because also my heart rate is dropping from 178. We are dropping to 168, 169. And we are in good company because we have 5, 6 A's with us, which is massive. Here the chasing bees start doing a huge dig. They're doing 4.5 watt per kilo. Meanwhile, we are doing 3.5, not more than 4. So I set my sauce in a position to see only my category, the B's. Sorry, the C's. So in this manner, I had no idea who was behind me, who was catching us. except I knew that the second chasing B, Felix of CISO, was dropping back 30, 40 seconds behind me. And here was where I started being and getting a bit confident. There was also this other guy, Brian Moore, who latched onto the group and held for a long time, 40 seconds actually. You might see him on screen now, soon. Not sure. Meanwhile, the chasing bees are arriving and the blob gets bigger, which for me is even better because it means that I can stay even more protected um, uh, in this big peloton. On the left hand side, as you can see, the Libby Hill KOM, I did 122, and the others did 126, 130, 131, whatever. Huge PR of 14 seconds from my personal best of 136. So it was a really good punch, honestly. And finally, they latch on. So this group got even bigger. So we had more watts. And I sent a message to everyone. I told them, guys, can you help me out? Can you please help me with the pace? And they started actually pushing now. Here's where I started writing on my phone. And I started dropping a bit. See, my watts was 170, 180. Then I realized, oh no, mate, come on, let's push. And we went again. I think 23rd Street, the very, very tough, very steep section, which is, as you can see, 28, 280 meters only, makes a huge difference. There was a gap of almost 10 seconds between me and the third. Here, I write at the group bros and I'm getting dropped. And I realized, Darren, move. As you can see on the right hand side of the screen, there is Brian Moore, 47 down, and he has good company because he has this guy back, A rider. He has Jonathan Moran also with them, another B guy from Tugaz. So this guy, I said, okay, now we need to monitor the advantage. Here I write a message to my friend Paul Young of Kaboom, and I told him, Paul, can you help me? And he told me, gotcha, mate, don't worry about it. So I was really, really happy to have teammates, um, uh, surrounded by teammates, knowing that we will make it till the finish. Obviously, I didn't know the advantage that I would be having at the end, but then I saw that behind they were only 4 people pushing to catch. Our group was over 20 people, 20 riders. Meanwhile, the chasing group of ours was only 4. You can see them on the opposite side of the screen now, coming along on the left. And there they are, 4. And Brian has 45 seconds behind, and he's pushing the watts himself now. As you can see, he's doing 3.3 watts. But obviously, I reply back with the help of the group. And then all of a sudden, this gap started getting bigger and bigger. Let's fast forward a bit. After a few kilometers, we are already 1 minute ahead. The chasing group started actually pushing a bit, 138. Obviously, they noticed that the front group were only 5 riders. Meanwhile, that pack was a bit more denser in terms of riders. And here was the section. John Moran steady. Here was the section where we actually started gaining. We pushed. Here, Paul, text me, I think, something. Because I write to the group, guys, I need your help. Here was the dip. Here is the bit, and then I pushed some good watts for over 400 watts, as you can see, in order to catch good momentum on the downhill. We are riding 63 km/h speed, freewheeling totally. So that's very good speed. And we're just less than 5 km till the finish line. Yeah, we're pushing a bit more. At one point, I went on the lead here. And here's the last section of Libby. And funny enough, here I said, okay, now everyone's gonna go and they're gonna leave me behind. Here I started pushing normal watts for me on hills. We're talking 5 watt per kilo, 340, 360 watts. And we managed to stick with the group until the penultimate hairpin. Here we are doing very well. I am looking down at my bike. I'm not looking at the screen. Small respite here, 178 BPM. And here I push again. All of a sudden here I catch some fatigue. All of it, I couldn't spin too much. I said, okay, no need to push into oblivion. Let's take it step by step. We're just 600 meters away. In fact, I gave 5 seconds to Paul Young. He all of a sudden comes ahead of me, and even beats me. So it was a moment where my body felt the effort. I said, listen, take it easy, man. You don't need to hammer yourself. Um, just keep pushing, pushing, pushing. We did a decent time, nevertheless, even though we didn't push as hard as the very first climb. We didn't need to do that. And we managed actually 135, I think. Not sure. Let me see. We have an update coming soon. So Mark is ahead of me right now. Mark Wheeler. Yeah, we did 135, which is very decent, which is actually faster than my all-time PR, nevertheless, after all that, ordeal that I had to go through in terms of the race. I managed to actually drop B riders behind me, and amazing. I finished in front of Loopy I. Hi, Loopy. And here's the celebration, knowing that chasing pink is getting pinkier. Happy days. I'm crying here a bit. Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Awesome. So happy with that. So yeah, guys, stage 5 concludes with a great win on on a circuit that terrifies me a bit, but we managed to achieve the win. Now we will see what's happening with the overall results. The last 3 stages, my finishing was first, second, first. Tomorrow we have Neokyo all-nighter stage, pretty flattish stage, so we need to understand and see how we are going to attack this route. Now, obviously, the time is to rest a bit, recover, supplement myself, and get some good rest. I think tomorrow I will be racing at 2 p.m. So we need to understand exactly and better what we're going for. And then we have Monday, which is a rest day for the ECRO tour. And Tuesday we have the Sufferfest #1, which is Harrogate, Yorkshire. Um, we have Yorkshire KOM and a few other hard climbs that need punch power. But we don't care about that. We are strong in that in that section and in department, and for sure we will do our very best to to maintain this positive momentum and see whether we can continue being contenders for chasing pink, and hopefully be able to take the win on stage 18. Okay, guys, let me see whether you can see me again. Now again, let me see whether you can, because right now I don't think you can see my camera. Yeah. Huh? Video capture. Where am I? Because now I have a surprise, guys, for you. You need to look at the camera. I wore something very special for you all. So deactivate and activate. So thank you, Ethan. Truly appreciate, my friend. Let's have a look at Strava, guys. Oof, look at those PRs, guys. Wherever we go, PRs, PRs, PRs. Libby Hill. Mega PR there, huh? Mega. Oh, we did a PR on Governor Climb also today. I hate that climb, the one that was towards the banner. 1 minute 27, 318 watts average. Wow. Sagan's winning move. We did Darren's winning move today. With a 448 PR, today we did 427. So that's a good PR, guys. Mm. Something I want to show you guys also is Zwift Racing app. Let's have a look at Zwift Racing app, which is today's schedule. So, favorite riders. I don't think the race is yet included of today. I'm not sure. So, let's have a look. First of all, we need to update Zwift Power. So, 689, okay. We go activities, update activity list because the last one's updated of yesterday, the chasing pink stage 4. So we do an update here. And we also need to have a look at the ECRO site. I don't think the ECRO site is yet updated, obviously, I guess. I don't know. Serious. No, I'm still with 4 races so far. I didn't know that Brian Moore is only a minute and 20 seconds behind me, but the guy was strong. I must admit that, so yeah. GG to him, definitely. So now obviously I don't know what happens. Today Chris lost around 12 seconds to Andre Sousa, who's currently second with 5 obviously races. So now I need to understand what happens because I obviously won, but I didn't race against Chris. That's the thing, you know. So let's see what happens. I'll keep you all updated. Okay, guys, I'm off. I thank you very much for your great support. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for leaving a comment on my YouTube whilst on stream. I have seen each and every one, even though I couldn't reply because I was going full gas. Tomorrow is another day, guys. Tomorrow we are doing stage 6 in Neokyo all-nighter. I will do a recon of the race to see exactly what's happening, where, and whatever, and make sure to be at my best in order to have again another fantastic race. Um, Wishing you all a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks everyone for watching, and once again, thank you very much for the support. Good night and ride on. Ciao, ciao.